Welcome to this live stream from First Unitarian Church of Des Moines. Our mission is to love radically, grow ethically and spiritually, and serve justly. We invite you to visit our website at www.ucdsm.org. It's a great way to explore all that our church has to offer, from adult programs, to religious education, to social justice work, and more. But the best way to know us is to visit on a Sunday. We'd love to get to know you over a cup of coffee after the service. Speaking of which, today's service will begin shortly. So now we'll take you inside.
Thank you, Bruce. Still working out how to use that. Hear these words from the Reverend Erica Hewitt. To be a Unitarian Universalist means we'll never be done with the work of telling the truth about oppression, the work of resisting any laws, policies, or practices that deny anyone their humanity, the work of stubbornly seeking out the spark of the divine in each other, no matter what, the work of creating heaven on earth.
To be a Unitarian Universalist also means we're not alone in the work. We are not alone because of our promises to love one another. We are not alone because we are companions on the journey.
We grow ourselves into allies, helping one another get free, because none of us is truly free until we are all free.
Please join with me in the chalice lighting words in your order of service. The chalice we light today is a symbol of our faith. It binds us together as one people, a reminder that our strength is in our shared hope for the world, and that our common work is the creation of beloved community among ourselves and in the world. And now let us pass the peace. If you would prefer a little personal space, simply remain seated, and your neighbors will take the cue and leave you in peace.
All right, please stand as you're willing or able and join us in hymn 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Williams, she, her, your co-celebrant this morning. We welcome all people who welcome all people. We welcome all genders, ethnicities, bodies, and stories. Whatever you are carrying with you, whatever you long to set down or pick up today, may you find here the love, support, and encouragement you seek. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you'd like help connecting with folks, please be sure to grab a yellow Let's Talk mug during coffee hour to communicate your interest in getting to know more people. If you're noticing that it's hard to find a parking space, we do also have access to a very large parking lot just across Bell Avenue by the Iowa Financial Association. Our First Unitarian Church is located on land that has been home to people of woodland culture for 12,000 years, including the Iowa, Sauk, and Meskwaki.
Good morning. I'm Louise Alcorn, your other celebrant this morning. Here at First Unitarian Church of Des Moines, we are not held together by a creed, but by our commitment to one another through our bond of union. Please join me in speaking together, our bond of union. We covenant to associate ourselves together for the study and practice of morality and religion as interpreted by the growing thought and noblest lives of humanity, hoping thereby to prove helpful one to another and to promote truth, righteousness, and love in the world. And before we start our next hymn, I do want to let you know one of our speakers, Mike Smith, was not able to make it today. So today is full of pivoting. Yay! So don't worry, you'll be able to keep up.
Good morning. My name is Faithiana Leonard. I'm the Faith Formation and Congregational Life Coordinator here, and I'm going to be reading our story. So if I can have the youth come down to the front. If this is your first time here, what we do is we have the youth come to the front, we'll read them the story, and then we'll sing them out to classes. Parents can remain in their seat, but if it is your youth's first time coming to a class, we ask that parents go with their youth to class, and then they can come back into service after they get them signed in. All right, our story is going to be a little different today because it's a little bit small here. So if you guys want to see the pictures, if you can just look up at the screens, and then you'll be able to see the pictures today, okay? All right. That good? All right. Mr. Dexter's class excitedly lined up. The whole school had voted on a special lunch they'd get at the end of each week. There was a tie between pizza and tacos, and the entire second grade voted for French fries. So Principal Howard made a compromise with Taco Pizza Friday. This was Stacy's favorite part of the week. After Adventure Day in the library, she always sat with her best friend, Julie. In the cafeteria, Stacy laughed at Julie's knock-knock joke. Zico tried to balance his tray on his head. Standing in line to pay, Stacy heard a boy in front of her whisper, "I don't have any lunch money today." "I'm sorry, but the rules are the rules," the cashier explained. "I have to take the tray back." Frozen, Stacy watched as the boy walked away without any food. and suddenly she wasn't hungry anymore. At the lunch table, her friends giggled and gossiped. "You're not listening," Julie complained. "Are you okay?" "Not really," Stacy replied. Zico shook his head. "But Taco Pizza Friday is the best!" And quietly, Stacy told them what happened in the lunch line. "I should have offered him some of my food. He probably would have been embarrassed," said Jake. Stacy felt herself get hot and jittery. "I still should have done something." Jenny shrugged. "What could you do? We're just kids. We don't make the rules." And Stacy thought about it. But what if the rules are very, very wrong? And Julie suggested, maybe we can tell a teacher. And Stacy looked around the cafeteria, and for the first time she noticed several kids with empty plates where their trays should be. Stacy said, "I know who we can talk to." And after the final bell, she and her friends went to the library. Stacy told Mr. McCormick about all the kids who couldn't get lunch. If families can't afford it, kids may receive a free lunch. Sadly, not everyone qualifies, he explained. The rules can be very complicated. "Lunch shouldn't be," Stacy argued. "What can we do?" And Julie offered, "My parents told me that they went to protest to stop war in our home country. And every summer, my older sister drags me from the house to house to ask people to save the planet," Jenny told them. Mr. McCormick listened to their ideas. "In 1 week, the school board will meet right here during our assembly. There are adults who make the decisions." "Will you talk to them for us?" Stacy asked. He shook his head. "I could, but I don't think my voice is the one they need to hear. If you want to change the rules, you've got to find the words, Stacy, not me." Stacy thought about what Mr. McCormick had said. Stacy didn't really like public speaking. How would she convince everyone? Why should they listen to her? She worried all night. Then in the morning, she bolted up and ran downstairs, and her parents were sitting on the couch. "You're awake early," her father said. "I figured it out. Maybe I don't have to say anything." "Why not? Remember how you and Mom met in college?" "At the petition drive," recalled her mom. "We saved a park from becoming a gas station." One moment. "We saved a park from becoming a gas station." It's all about pivoting today, folks. Exactly, Stacy told them in her plan. "That way, I don't have to say a word." Dad kissed her forehead, and Mom gave her a hug. "We can give it a try," said Dad. Do you mind holding it? Will you hold it for me? Thank you. That afternoon, Stacy met with her friends and shared her idea. Jenny and Carter took stacks of petitions and pulled them down the street in her little brother's wagon. Jake rode his bike to the park with Hattie and asked everyone there to sign up. Julie and Zico went with them to the community center. Stacy's older brother apologies. We're going to start that page over. That afternoon, Stacy met with her friends and shared her idea. Jenny and Carter took stacks of petitions and pulled them down the street in her little brother's wagon. Jake rode his bike to the park with Hattie and everyone there to sign up. Julie and Zico went to the community center. Stacy's older brother put the petition on the neighborhood website. And as more people heard about their protest, her mother's phone kept ringing, and so did her dad's. A wonderful sound. On the day of the assembly, Stacy set up a table in the schoolyard. Kids from all over the school brought in their petitions. Stacy happily counted on the sheets. With all the signatures, she wouldn't have to say a word. Stacy entered the auditorium where the school board was about to arrive. "Principal Howard?" "Yes, Stacy, is this about your petition?" "I have more than 500 signatures. Can you tell the school board?" "It was a great idea to get signatures, but I think they need to hear from a student, don't you?" She thought about it all during the assembly. Maybe names on a page weren't enough. Her stomach wobbled with nervousness, but Stacy took a deep breath and raised her hand. "Yes?" asked Principal Howard. "I'd like to say something." "Come on up." Stacy motioned to her friends, who each carried a pile of petitions to the stage. She leaned into the microphone. "Lunch is the best. It's one time that kids can make their own decisions, especially on Taco Pizza Friday." And everyone laughed. Stacy continued, "But not every student can afford to buy food at school or bring it from home." As she spoke, her voice got stronger. This week, kids from around the school worked together. We asked parents and other adults to sign a petition. And Stacy thought about what Mr. McCormick told them about change. She had to find the right words. "You have the power," she pointed to the school board members. "We need you to do something today." Principal Howard said, "Stacy, that's not how the system works." Jake shouted, "Why not?" Jenny and Julie joined him. "Why not?" they demanded. And more students started chanting, "Why not? Why not? Why not?" Finally, a boy made his way to where Stacy stood. She passed him the microphone. "My name is Grayson Monticelli," he began shyly. "I'm one of the kids who doesn't always have enough money to eat lunch." He started at the floor. Stacy reached out and squeezed his hand. He squeezed back and continued, "We deserve to learn without being hungry." And all the kids in the auditorium cheered. The principal walked back on stage. "Thank you both for bringing this matter to our attention." "So you'll change the rules?" Stacy asked. One of the school board members answered, "We'll discuss it. We have to follow a process. It takes time." And for the next month, Stacy and her friends went to see the principal every Taco Pizza Friday with a list of how many kids didn't get to eat that week. And she and her friends told children at other schools about what they were doing. Then one morning, the principal made an announcement. "Because of the great efforts of our students starting today, every child will be entitled to lunch, whether they can pay or not. At our school, no child will go hungry." And for the rest of the day, Stacy and her friends celebrated their victory. Mr. McCormick had been right. Using her voice had helped Grayson use his. And words on a page combined with words spoken out loud made a difference. Imagine what else all their voices could change together. Good morning again. Now the mic is guaranteed to work. Apologies for the story. Today, I want to talk to you guys about faith formation. So I want to take a quick moment to share an opportunity for our families with kids in grades 5 and 6, so 5th or 6th grade, on our Whole Lives, or OWL program. OWL is a program many of you may already know and trust. It gives young people a chance to learn about their changing bodies, relationships, and feelings in a way that's honest, age-appropriate, and grounded in our shared values. Kids at this age are already picking up information from all kinds of places, and OWL offers a safe, supportive space where they can ask questions, build confidence, and learn how to take care of themselves and one another. OWL isn't just about information. It's about helping kids practice things like communication, respect, consent, and self-worth. These are skills that really matter as they move into adolescence and beyond. The grades 5-6 OWL program will meet for 10 weeks starting March 1st of this year and will be led by trained facilitators. If you signed your youth up earlier in the year when we did registration back in the fall and you would still like them to participate, please send an email to let us know. And if you haven't signed up yet and you want some more information, you can reach out to us at faithformation@ucdsm.org. There will also be paper sign-up forms at the welcome desk today. We'd love to have your youth be a part of this meaningful experience. Thank you.
Good morning. I invite you to settle in a little deeper into your seat. I'm Laura Berardi, she, her, a pastoral care associate for our congregation. What is the pastoral care team? Well, sometimes we experience big changes in our lives and we need a good listener to talk to. If you are feeling overwhelmed, lost, or alone in your grief, please call us. Please call the pastoral care team. You can reach out to us at pastoralcareteam@ucdsm.org. We've got a phone number now. You can call or text that number. You can also request assistance or submit a joy or sorrow through the Caring Community page on our website, or by speaking to me or any member of the pastoral care team. In this community, we hold it all: joy and sorrow, laughter and tears, and everything in between. Something needs to be said about Minnesota and what's happening there, but I don't have the words. Many of us don't, I think. So I will just share this short plea, this prayer a friend of mine posted online. He lives in West St. Paul, and he posted just this: everything, everything. Blessed are the peacemakers. And now I want to turn to what's been shared with us this week from our community. We devote this time to honoring all that's held within this community and to letting you know we are holding it with you. We extend our love and sympathy to the family and friends of longtime member Fred LaCroix, who died on Tuesday, January 20th. Fred turned 93 just a week before his death. He was an active volunteer and an active member of First Unitarian Church since 1976. A memorial service will be held tomorrow, Monday, January 26th at 2 p.m. here at the church. We also have a couple of additions that we heard kind of late. Terry Meek has been hospitalized. She's at Mercy. There was a blood clot from her bad knee that traveled to her heart. She said, fortunately, there was no damage to her heart. She was on quite a bit of blood thinners for a while. She is hoping to go home today. We also received news that Gene McCracken fell on Wednesday, January 21st, while they were up in Cedar Rapids. He was taken to the hospital where he is receiving care for influenza A, pneumonia, and cellulitis of his lower left leg. At this time, the plan is for him to stay in the hospital until early this week and then move to a skilled care facility for rehabilitation and recovery. Let's hold Jean in our hearts, Terry in our hearts, and send them both our care and comfort as they recover. And we do have cards at the table for all of those. As you're holding it all, a gentle reminder that our Grief Support Circle now meets on the second Sunday of each month at 3 p.m. in the minister's office. The next gathering is on Sunday, February 8th. You are all welcome to attend. And we do have a Cares and Concerns box now out at the table. That's another way to get in touch with us. This is something that you could wish to have shared from up here on the pulpit, or if you just want the minister or the team to reach out to you, or you just want to submit it anonymously to know somebody else is holding it, that's another option as well. For the things we can see, for those just beneath the surface, for those held deep within, here we honor it all. Let us walk together, grateful for the love of this community. I invite you now to take this next moment to share aloud or in writing the names of those you are carrying in your heart today. We light 3 candles this morning, and I want to do it a little differently today. I want to light a candle for Minnesota and for all who are harmed by federal agents. We will light a candle for all the joys and sorrows shared in this community, and one for everything held silently among us. Please join me in a moment of silence.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. Let us now take up our morning offering, for in giving we receive. He absolutely hates when I do this, but I want to take a second and thank the universe for the blessing that is Bruce Martin and his fingers. He can yell at me later. I know. So, as I said, we're having to pivot a little today, which allows me an interesting opportunity. So, each week we're up here, usually with Reverend Steve, sometimes on our own, but you have probably noticed that along with him is our Celebrant Team. And our Celebrant Team, we are there primarily to take the themes and Reverend Steve's vision for those themes and add flesh to the bones, I guess, perhaps harmony to the melody. And our meetings are some of my favorite parts of my month. We get to dig deep, laugh a lot, say some outrageous things, and then figure out what we're actually going to say to all of you. I know all of us have the thrill of every once in a while Steve just quoting us straight out, and we're like, I did that, right? This month the theme is resistance, as you've probably noticed, and that has meant many things. So early on in the month, when the year had just turned, We talked about sort of bad resistance versus good resistance. Are you being stubborn, or are you resisting something that is wrong? And how we make those decisions. And especially on our second service on January 11th, we talked about the calculus of resistance, how we literally make those decisions. Do we stand up? Do we step back? Somewhere in the middle? And how hard those can be. And especially, I talked about how hard those can be in a context of a family or other emotional structure. Last week, just prior to Martin Luther King Day, we talked about silence and resistance, and specifically how it related to being a Unitarian Universalist. I personally like to get a little kick in the pants about how to be a better you. I don't always know how to do it, but I like that. But I also wanted to share with you, prior to what you're going to have today, a little bit about how the sausage is made. So as a Celebrant Team, we take long, rambling notes based on a series of prompts from Reverend Steve. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that came up because they've been sticking in my head. Keep in mind, we do this 2 months ahead. So this was us in November, thinking about January. Some of our prompts were like, what is resistance? What do we mean by this word? How do you resist? What's the value of resistance? And I remember Elijah Evans saying that life cannot exist without some form of resistance. We resist gravity. We resist despair. We resist boredom by getting up and doing something. We can also resist in bad ways. Stamping your foot and saying, I'm not gonna, is a perfectly human response to everything, but isn't always helpful. We also talked about how resistance can bring confrontation, and many of us don't like that. We talked about that in that first and second week. You remember Reverend Steve talking about Uncle Dan. We love Uncle Dan, but when he calls the server honey or sweetheart, we have to decide what to do. And we also have to give Uncle Dan the grace to receive our opinion, which is hard. But I liked that take that he did, actually. And so, what is resistance versus stubbornness? And we talked about a lot of different things. And we talked about whether resistance was a spiritual practice. And that brings us to today. Mike Smith was originally going to be here and talk about the fact that he went to jail rather than going to Vietnam. That sounds very simple, but obviously was not. It was a very studied decision he made, and he then had to fight to go to law school after having been in jail. I hope one day we can bring his very fascinating story to you, but unfortunately he was unable to join us today. So what I wanted to give you a shape of what we were thinking about for today, which is our individual choices and our individual emotions about resistance. So our first speaker is the lovely Martha Sherrick Shen, and she's going to talk to us about resisting fear, hatred, and despair. And then you get to hear the choir.
Thank you. As she said, I'm Martha Sherrick Shen, and my pronouns are she, her. My words begin as a desperate query and prayer, and culminate in how love's voice, the voice of wisdom, changes how I listen and respond to the world. It is written in first person, but if it echoes in your own heart, then our voices blend into one voice, a voice crying in the wilderness to make straight the way of justice. So whether you are in the forefront of protests like those in Minneapolis, or like Aaron and Hur holding up Moses' hands so the battle would not be lost. May love sustain you. May love be the answer. Resisting fear, hatred, despair with love. As this chaotic country explodes with hatred and fear, I wonder with eyes clouded by tears how this unknown future will right itself with its ominous twists and turns. How do I see in wisdom's light through the dark hours of this country's plight and keep my mind from filling with utter despair? Let me see through love's prism the colors of grace, breathe in love's breath, and with wisdom embrace all humankind, even those that are blind. Let me use words of conviction to appeal to their soul so they'll listen with love and not to the systems that bind them. Let love break the barrier those systems create and begin to rescue our world before it's too late. Let me stand like the trees through infestations and storms. Let me speak words of warning that spring forth from my roots to signal mycelium through the ground of all being. Let me trust in the power of the atmosphere's breeze with its whims and its ways to send loving messages, warnings, and protection to all the endangered. Let me fruit in their favor. My hope and my prayer is to light up my soul, not to walk with despair, but to see with new eyes the visions of stars in the heavens, a compass, a map, an antiquity guide. Help me be a small light, transforming the night into day. And here is my poem. When I listen to the voice of wisdom, I am learning to listen under the skin of things until only the blood of the matter pulses in my ears. I am learning to hear the silence beneath the noise, even on the busy city streets where anonymity lives. In silence, wisdom speaks. Her words have no voice until they are lived beneath the skin and move through the bones into the heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, life speaks. May it be so.
As part of our pivot, I have a short reading called Both the Burning and the Light, written by Sean Parker Dennison, and he wrote this in February of 2017. About 6 months ago, I got a new tattoo. It's a lit match on my right wrist, added to an arm full of paintbrushes, pens, and other art supplies. As a minister, my tattoos are sometimes controversial, and I was a little nervous about what people would think about this addition. When people asked why I chose a lit match, I'd joke that it was either to burn the world down or to light my inner chalice. These days, the joke is less funny because things have gotten more serious. As the new president signs executive orders that give tax breaks to the most privileged while attacking immigrants, refugees, Muslims, LGBTQ plus people, people with disabilities, and anyone else he disagrees with, I am more and more committed to resistance. This deepened calling to a life of non-compliance will take a lot of burning and a lot of light. As an artist and religious leader, I believe in the necessity of creative destruction. A magnet on my refrigerator says, "Go forth and set the world on fire." For me, it's a statement of passion and a reminder that in order for justice to flourish, injustice must be dismantled. In order for freedom to be real, fences, cells, and walls must be torn down. In order for forests to remain healthy, wildfires must burn away the overgrowth. I am ready to embrace creative destruction as one of the tools we need in these times. But we need more than destruction. We also need to support each other. Lighting the flame of our common chalice, real or symbolic, is a powerful reminder that we cannot sustain ourselves by ourselves. We are not enough individually, and enclaves of like-minded people are not enough. We need each other to share the wisdom of lived experience, to remind each other to keep learning, and to love each other through the inevitable failures and eventual success of our resistance. We need both the burning and the light.
Good morning again. So writing has always been a spiritual practice for me, and I practice that in a variety of ways, and part of that is through UU Writers. And I thought when the month of resistance came up, the first thought I had was, man, I'm going to write some really good poetry this month. And then stuff happened at the beginning of our year with Renee Good and other events, and I was just really sitting with a lot of anger. But I also wanted to practice as a Unitarian Universalist, making sure that I remember to keep love at the center of what I do. And so that's when I wrote this poem, Moving Forward in Love. It is heartbreaking to see hands of love spread covered in red, falling to the hands of guns loaded with ignorance, aimed by fear, bullets of defiance tearing through innocent life. No sense of power should ever be born from terrorism. We live in a time where the oath to protect has become a shadow, where sirens do not soothe and badges no longer promise safety. Our society fears the very ones sworn in to keep us safe. It is hard to feel patriotic when so many of us carry the shame of others, when the flag feels heavier with grief than with pride. I stand beside those who whisper what feels dangerous to say aloud, that the people meant to protect us are the ones we feel we need protecting from. I stand beside those whose lives have been split open by hate, whose grief was delivered violently, without consent, without mercy. And still, I still stand beside those who move forward in love. Because when we let hate blacken our hearts, when bitterness becomes our inheritance, we hand victory to those who trade fear for control. So I urge you, love in the way your heart feels safest to do so. Write letters that refuse silence. Stand in peaceful protest, feet rooted in hope. Send love to those fighting quietly, bleeding invisibly, holding the line with tenderness instead of fist. Grief lives in all of us now, but love is how we carry it forward, not as weakness, but as resistance.
We'll now sing hymn 118, This Little Light of Mine.
Please join me in saying the extinguishing chalice words, and your order of service are on the screen. The flame is extinguished, but not our hope for the future, our courage in the face of crisis, or the love we share in all the world.
This prayer is from the same author that Elizabeth read earlier. Spirit of justice, help us be courageous and committed in these times. Let us transform our ideals into action, our words into deeds. Let the fire of our passion burn with both light and warmth. In our anger, help us embody the spirit of creative destruction, always making room for more justice, more compassion, more love. May it be so. May we be the ones that make it so.
Be ours a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere. Its temple all space, its shrine the good heart, its creed all truth, its ritual words of love.
As this live stream from First Unitarian Church comes to an end, Remember that previous live streams can be found on our YouTube channel. We'd love to see you in person someday. Until then, thanks for joining us.